I'd like to share with you the program that I've created to help you in all of these areas. That the Compassionate Mediation program, which is a dream of mine. And what I've done, this is a little bit about me. I've taken my legal education. I've been trained as a mediator. I went to 25 years of studying with Dick Schwartz in the internal family systems. I studied at the Chopra Center for 5 years and became one of their master teachers. I studied with Deepak Chopra, David Simon, David G. Claire Diab. And I've taken all that information and I've funneled it into a program for you. So the Compassionate Mediation program merges psychology, spirituality, legal information, financial information, all in one spot. And Dick Schwartz, the founder of IFS, generously quoted for me that divorce brings out the worst in each of us and does leave lasting scars, not just to you, but to your children. And even though I haven't mentioned your children yet, I know that's a concern. If you have children, what is the relationship they're seeing you share? Is it the relationship that's really coming from your highest self? So what I offer is I offer individuals and couples a way out of looking at their situation from their narrow perspective into a more self-led perspective. And then you can learn the larger lessons that your relationship has allowed you to learn. And he was generous to say it is relationship healing at its best. And when I talk about relationship healing, I just want to share that you didn't expect to be having this conversation. I, in my life, didn't expect to be having this conversation. And I remember when I was sitting in court across the way from my soon-to-be beloved ex-husband, and we were both feeling the pain and the fear and the sadness of what divorce had done to our relationship. I told myself there had to be a better way. There had to be a better way to get divorced. And that's how this program came about. So I merged IFS with higher consciousness, with inner wise self, with all of those other aspects, and I'm offering it to you so that you can have relationship healing no matter what choice you make in the future. Because when we change the way we look at something, what we look at changes. So even if you're the only one who learns this process or takes this program, you're going to bring that wisdom, that peaceful self-leadership back to your relationship, and it's going to change the dynamics immediately. It always does. So when you look at it from your higher level of consciousness, your higher self, it's going to change. And what the Compassionate Mediation program covers, guess what, is all the questions that I just asked you today. So it teaches you how to be your best self, how to create a compassionate relationship, all the options, myriad ones, including, while I'm thinking of it, getting yourself to an Al-Anon meeting if addiction is in the, or a 12-step meeting, getting your own antidepressant if you need it, getting your own therapy, taking a stand for your own safety if that's an issue. So explore all your options, and we'll talk more about that. Understanding your finances, that's often very difficult for people. I want to hold your hand and help you get clear so that you know what you want to do moving forward. And then the fifth is to help you create the relationship you desire and deserve. So that's the steps of the program, and we'll look at each module briefly. So when you're being your best self, you focus on your needs. Start doing that now. Don't start waiting for yourself to make a decision about what you want to do. Take care of yourself now. And with that, I'm going to take a breath. I invite you to do the same. Because as this picture that I took at the Botanic says, if you're worried you might be sinking, don't just float, flower. And I truly believe that things happen to us for a reason, and that what feels like the end can often be the beginning. So why this is happening in your life right now, why you're at this state of indecision, it's going to lead you to the next best place for you to be. And when you focus on your own needs and get clear and confident, when you take the time, when you practice exquisite self-care, when you get clear and confident and practice compassionate communication, you learn to set your intention for the relationship that you want. So your GPS becomes, I want a relationship that's loving and kind and fun and passionate and intimate. And you put out that to the universe. And then you show up and you invite your partner, if you want to meet you there. And if you veer the wrong path, be like your GPS. Just recalculate. Just gently recalculate. Don't beat up on yourself. But take an inspired action step in the direction of focusing on your needs and putting your attention on your intention for a better relationship, no matter what form it takes. And let the universe, higher power, help you on that path. So that's module 1, and there's more. And when you learn compassionate communication, you connect to your highest self. You let go of those limiting beliefs and judgments that you have about yourself and your partner. You unburden the pain from the past by acknowledging it, focusing, letting yourself move through it, and you relate from your heart. And even when you're angry and even when you're scared, if you take the time to feel your feelings and heal your heart, you're going to show up much differently to create a new relationship. In fact, I often tell couples that come to my office, your first relationship is over. It's not about fixing it or saving it. It's about creating something new together based on who you both are now and what you each want to need. So you can start new anytime. And when you're in self, you can make calm and clear decisions. You have compassion for yourself and your partner. You're confident in asking for what you want and need. You're connected to each other and participatory in the conversations. You don't have to put your walls up or get aggressive. You can show up. You're courageous. Even when it doesn't seem to go your way, you can be courageous. And you can co-create reasonable compromises because you're going to stay curious about how to do that and not let your ego get in the way that it demands it has to be just as the way you want it. So as you're curious about options and resolutions, you're going to create a whole new future. So one of my clients said that after she came to me alone, she experienced significant improvements, even though her family was unwilling to participate. So once you reframe your story and have compassion for yourself, you really can then let that compassion emanate from you, but you fill up with you first. And just an aside, I wanted to quote Albert Einstein, who said, men marry women hoping they'll never change. Women marry men hoping to change them. And inevitably, they're both disappointed. So whoever you're married to, they've changed, you've changed. And Sam Keen says, it's not about finding a perfect person. It's about learning to love another imperfect person perfectly. So that's what you do in module 2. You learn how to create a compassionate relationship. You reduce your stress, and we'll talk about breathing, yoga, meditation. We'll talk about all the ways to reduce your stress. We'll talk about the miracle of empathy. I'll teach that to you, and the 5 steps we'll go into more deeply, so that together you can create some action steps based on a new compassionate relationship. And together, you can talk about empathy, the 5 steps, and you might even find that you're experiencing more partnership, passion, and fun. Because many times, let's take a look at this. I think this is at Burning Man. But this sculpture looks to me like many people that come to my office. They're both sad and turned away from each other. And inside, there's an inner child yearning to connect. And what you can do with compassionate mediation is learn compassionate communication to create a compassionate relationship and connect from your heart in ways that lead to healing. Let's take a breath and think about that. Because basically, through this In for Humor, we all come from some kind of dysfunction in our families. This is a conference. You can see how many people are there for functional families. As an aside, I have a wonderful family, very beloved, but my father, God rest his soul, was a manic depressive. So when I grew up, there was a lot of yelling in my house. And it made me afraid of anger. It made me afraid of my anger. It made me afraid of his anger. It made me afraid of my husband's anger. So I learned how to be codependent. I learned how to take care of other people's needs and pretend everything was okay and not be clear about my boundaries. And then I didn't want to do that anymore. So owning the parts of me that were angry, learning how to set boundaries, learning how to ask for what I wanted and needed, I learned how to do, even though I wasn't taught it very well in my family of origin. And you may not have been either. But we take what we can from our wonderful caregivers who do the best they know how to do, and then we learn from that. And now we can do better. So you can also build an entirely new marriage. You don't have to read this whole page, but basically what it says is, this lovely woman came to me considering leaving, but she was afraid. And she was afraid because staying felt almost as bad as leaving. And what she did was focus on herself, and I'm going to use her words because they're beautiful. Our self is the essence of the core of who each of us is without the hurts of our past, the defensive strategies we've developed to protect ourselves, our fears, worries, etc. All that stuff covers up our shining, beautiful, peaceful self. So she built an entirely new marriage with the skills that you're learning here and that you can learn in compassionate mediation. And that's what I hope for you. Module 3, you explore your options. And again, we've talked about counseling, separation, legal separation, divorce, but there's more. You can nest for a while in your own house where you and your spouse come and go and you stay with your children. But whatever your options are, take the time you need to get really clear. And that's what my program will help you do. So in compassionate mediation, you'll learn communication, learn empathy, explore your options, and then make your decision from your highest self. And if you decide to get divorced, which many of my clients do, you'll learn a new way to do that. I have helped many people who are partners in business get divorced and still stay partners in business. Because we talk about the psychological, financial, and legal issues, but we also stay connected on what's important, which is providing a safe home for your children, even if it's 2 homes for your children, where they see you connected in ways that are respectful and loving and kind. And it is possible. It may not feel that way now, but it is, even if you're the only one that does it. So deep breath. Number 4, understand your finances. It's got assets, debts, budgets, cash flow, your rights and responsibilities. And most of all, I'd like you to have a peaceful dialogue between the 2 of you. I took this picture at the Botanic Gardens. It says, the bridge between is not always a straight line. Let's meet in the middle. So when you understand your finances, you can sit down together and peacefully talk about it in ways that maybe you've ignored or taken for granted or taken on the roles of your family of origin. But you can create a new dynamic as co-equal partners starting now. You can talk about your income, your assets, your debts, and everything related to cash and finances. And then in module 5, you can begin to create the relationship you desire and deserve. And I took the picture of the monarch at the Botanic. And it says, once transformed, no need to go back. So what that means is, once you really come from your higher self, relate from your heart with compassion, you don't so easily go back into the old habits. And even when you do, because we're human and we'll get triggered, even when you do, you learn a new way to stop yourself, apologize, even notice that you're doing it with more self-awareness. So you can plan your future and truly create a better relationship for all of you, yourself, your partner, your children, your family, your friends. And by showing yourself compassion with all of these steps, you then show more compassion to the world. So that's what I hope for you. And there can be a compassionate divorce. This couple came and he said that she taught me how to come from my highest self. He didn't think he always came from his highest self, but he learned how to do that more now. And not only did they come see me for a long time while they were separated so they could monitor their separation, but when they got divorced, they now travel together because that's the kind of relationship they've been able to maintain. And that's possible for you too. So compassionate mediation could lead to a self-led divorce where you communicate, practice empathy, use the tools of mediation, and then peacefully and respectfully restructure your family. Because my belief is that families need not be broken, but can be peacefully and respectfully restructured. So let's see how to restructure yours. And what the compassionate mediation program includes is my proven step-by-step process, and I've used it on hundreds of individuals and couples for over 25 years. So I know the system works. It's got 5 powerful modules. We go for 8 weeks, but there's 5 modules that we spread out. I've got it on a beautiful format, and it helps you through the program by keeping you supported by me with emails, with videos, with weekly sessions. So you're going to get all that along with your 5 powerful modules, and everything's written out for you. So everything that we talk about is yours to keep. And even if you take this program by yourself, you'll have access later to be able to show to your partner if and when they'd like to see it too. Plus, there's going to be dozens of audio and videos sent to you, so you'll be able to come back as often as you'd like to learn all the skills that I'll be sharing with you. We're going to have easy access in that we're going to have 8 weekly live group sessions on Zoom, meaning you'll be able to see me. If you'd like, I'd be able to see you. If you would like to remain anonymous, that's fine too, but we can really create a group where I can help you personally. And that's my goal, is to create a program where I can leverage my time and serve as many people as possible and have you relate to each other in a way that gives you all the guidance and support you need. You can connect from anywhere in the world. And again, if you want to be live, you can be live with me. We can even share a screen sometime. If you want to do it anonymously, you can be part of the group, but keep yourself private. Or just recognize that what you're doing is learning how to be your best self and create a relationship that you desire and deserve. So join us either live or send your questions in ahead of time to support@lindakroll.com. You're going to have 6-month access. So even though we have 8 weeks of weekly calls, you're going to have 6 months of access to the program, to everything you need to know. We're going to have 6 monthly calls that go on beyond, well, we'll have the 2 months and then we'll have 4 more months after that. So you'll have a total of 6 months of calls. We'll have the private Facebook group and lots of additional resources that will support you on your path. So the results you'll get, taking a breath, tuning into my heart. You'll be your best self. And that will serve you in all of your relationships, no matter who they're with. You will bring that calm, compassionate presence to your children, to your parents, to your coworkers. You'll be your best self. You're going to create a better relationship, I promise, no matter what form it takes. And you can let go of attachment to the outcome and just ask to be guided one step at a time. You're going to have full knowledge of all your options and know where to get more support. You're going to have lots of clarity about your finances and all of your rights too. What would your rights be if you did choose to separate or legal separation? Some of those I'll give you generically. Some I'll send you to people in your state or country that will give you specifics, but we'll have a general understanding. And then at the end of it, you're going to have an inspired action plan for your future, for when you're ready to use it. So taking this program doesn't mean you have to be ready to do anything except learn what you need to learn so that you have the tools you need when you're ready to take any step you want. So let's look at what you could spend to get that kind of clarity. You could go talk to an attorney and spend up to $500 an hour for one or both of you, because you'd each need your own attorney if you decided to get divorced. Many attorneys take $5,000 in retainer fees before they even do anything, which means that if you paid $5,000 and your spouse paid $5,000, there's $10,000 before you've even done anything with your change in your relationship. You could get counseling with a therapist and pay $150 or more each week for you, for your spouse, for your children if needed. You could go speak to financial planners and other experts. And for a lot of these experts, you go speak to them. And if you're anything like me, when you go talk to somebody like that, you're nervous, you're upset. Even if you take notes, you're not clear. And you go home and you retain some of it, but certainly not all of it. And what you're going to have at your disposal in this program is you're going to have full access in writing, in videos, in audios, to all of the information that you'd get from these experts. Plus, we're going to talk about meditation, yoga, and better self-care as well. Because this program deals with all the following areas. You're going to get emotional support. We're going to talk about healing and parenting and how to help your children. The spiritual aspect, it doesn't matter what religion you are, it's just a way of looking at your life from a spiritual perspective, that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And in our human experience, we often suffer pain. But looking at it from a more spiritual vantage point can help alleviate a lot of that pain. So we'll talk about who you can rely on in terms of your what to do about the house, what to do about getting appraisals for businesses and things. In terms of legal, I'll offer you some of the information, and we'll talk to you about how you can connect with somebody in your area who hopefully will be somebody who will learn this process. So if any of you are therapists, mediators, attorneys, coaches, clergy, counselors, healers that would like to learn how to offer this program, I am going to be doing a training later this year. So stay tuned for that. And also this program deals with financial. So I'll help you learn how to gather the financial information you need, how to put it together, how to create a budget, and also show you where you can go to get more support. Where I can't answer those questions, I'll tell you where to go where you can. Okay? So the cost of this program. It will be at some point in the future, at least $1997. It could cost you thousands of dollars for all of the other people that we talked about. And you could still come away confused, conflicted, chaotic. But for a limited time, because I really want to make this available to you, it's going to be $797. And I know that may seem like a lot of money, but truly that was less than the cost of my first session for mediation. And the reason that I'm offering at this cost is because I truly want to make it something that you can invest in, because having all this information, having the support, having the guidance will truly change your life. And I'm giving you a better than no risk money back guarantee. So I'm going to tell you what that means. You can begin to add compassion and empathy today and create something new. And the peace of mind satisfaction guarantee I'm giving you, because I truly am invested in you getting the support, is when the program starts, if you listen to the orientation and the first module, and for some reason don't feel this program is for you or the timing is for you, then you have a chance to get your money back. And you get to keep the bonus gift. So if you're thinking, what if I'm too busy? We often get too busy as a way to cover up our needs to take action. So you can go shop or work or watch TV or get busy with other people's needs. But taking the time for yourself will really catapult your life from where you are now to where you'd like it to be. And what if you can't afford it? I'd like you to think of not just how much it might cost if you went the other route, but what are you losing in terms of your ability to think clearly at work? What are you losing in terms of your psychological health or your spiritual peace? What are you losing in terms of your connections to others? So I don't know that the question would be, can I afford not to take it? So consider that. And what if you just continue to do this on your own? You can. And it may work for you. Hopefully you've gotten something out of this video and you can use that. But the program that I'm offering now is going to be a live connection with someone who can give you answers to questions that you don't even know to ask yet. So I'm hoping that you'll jump in, because with that peace of mind guarantee, if it doesn't work for you after the orientation or the first module, you can get your money back. I really want to make this something for you to try. So if you'd like, you can go, as soon as we're done, because I'm still going to answer your questions, to compassionatemediationprogram.com and learn everything that I've talked about in this video and have it in front of you. And then if you'd like, you can sign up, because with it comes the bonus, and you get to keep this bonus even if you decide to stay for the whole course or not. So I'm going to take a breath and tell you about the bonus. In 2014, I invited 20 love and relationship experts to share their pieces of wisdom and information and advice and their humor and their love for the Love Summit, Igniting Passion, Connection, and Fun. And I am making all of those audios, transcripts, and free gifts available to you just for signing up. And even though the course isn't starting for a couple weeks now, you'll have at your disposal 16 hours of inspiration for you to add more love, passion, connection, and joy to your life starting now. So that's yours to keep. But if you're debating whether this is for you or not, then go take the Unhappy Marriage Quiz if you want at unhappymarriagequiz.com. And in just 4 minutes of taking that quiz, you'll get a feeling of where you are on enjoying the relationship that meets your needs. And you'll also get some information in that quiz of what you need to focus on to create a future that's more peaceful, joyous, and loving. And you can do that, again, no matter what form that relationship takes. So, I meant to tell you this at the beginning, but if you're still here, you've learned. I wanted to tell you that if you listen to the whole webinar, you were going to get some free gifts. And what I'd like you to do is go to lindakrollbook.com and order your free chapter of the book. And even if you have the free chapter and even if you have the book, go to that website and log in again, because I'll be sending you more bonuses throughout our time over the next few weeks, whether you take the course or not. Okay, so if you'd like to sign up for those bonuses too, besides the free chapter, go to lindakrollbook.com. And just to remind you, it is relationship healing at its best. You can add passion to your marriage or compassion to your divorce. You can forgive yourself and your partner. You can practice the miracle of empathy. And you can be kind to the inner child in each of you. And if you do that, then with the Compassionate Mediation program to help you, for me to take you by the hand and offer you everything that I have, together we can change the face of divorce, one heart at a time. And I hope we can start with your heart. From my heart to your heart, I'm sending you a lot of love, a lot of support. I'm actually sending you hope, unconditional love and inspiration, guidance, and support, which spells out hugs. So hugs with Compassionate Mediation program, hope, unconditional inspiration, guidance, and support. And now I'm going to answer your questions. Thank you so much for being here. And either we'll go back and find what you've asked, or if you're seeing this in a replay, please go to support@lindakroll.com, send me your questions, and I'll get back to you with the answers. And sending you a lot of love and a lot of light. Take care. And now.